Vienna's cuisine is more than just food. It is a journey through the history of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Every dish tells a story of tradition, culture, and flavor. And boy, is it a delicious story. I hope you're hungry because today we're going to be exploring the city and taking a bite of the tastiest, most traditional dishes it has to offer. Let's mad venture.
So we are at Trześniewski, and this restaurant has been an absolute classic here in Vienna for 122 years. It was started by Polish immigrant Trześniewski, but this is an absolute classic here in Vienna. It's in all of the most iconic spots. It's at every train station. It's at the airport. Like, it is everywhere. And this is like part of the beating heart of Vienna. This is where you come get a very fast bite throughout your day. And they have 26 different sandwiches, at least, of different fun varieties of these little cute finger sandwiches. So this is the sweet and smoky red pepper with cream cheese in the middle, and they're always on, part of like the Trześniewski way is that they're always on this very dark bread here. This is so good. It's just a smoky, sweet, spicy flavor. The creaminess of the cream cheese, mellowing out the little bit of spice. This is so good, and it's so pretty. We're not just going off the guidebooks with this one. This one is recommended by our Viennese friend. When he comes to visit, this is one of the top places on his list that he is for sure going to visit while he's here. Vienna is not really an early morning city. Like, even a lot of the cafes don't open until like 11. Trześniewski is actually one of the few places that opens up around like 8:30. So if you're looking for a good breakfast, this is a place you can go anytime throughout the day, but it is one of the only spots that's consistently open for breakfast as well. That's like dependably open for breakfast as well. So we got this sweet and spicy red pepper, we got a smoked salmon and horseradish cream cheese, and we got a chicken liver as well. Chicken liver is very popular here in Vienna. They have all sorts of things, so many vegetarian options. And then with these tiny little sandwiches, you also get a tiny little beer. This is called a Pfiff, literally P-H-I-F-F, Pfiff. A Pfiff is a size that was specially created here at Trześniewski, and it's not a fifth. I thought maybe it'd be a fifth of a liter, but it is an eighth of a liter. Just the cutest, tiniest little, like, I love how they made the mug like proportional as well, like, so cute. And you might be thinking, beer with breakfast, man, they're really going the full crazy tourist route. But we actually learned that beer with breakfast is a totally normal thing with the locals. When we have gone out to cafes, we've literally seen like cute little ladies in their 70s sharing a big old liter of beer with their breakfast. So we are actually doing the local Viennese thing here. Horseradish with the smoked salmon is so good. I've never had that combination before, but horseradish is such a classic Viennese flavor as well, and it's really fun to be getting that in our little tiny breakfast sandwich, already getting that real taste of Austria. For a quick breakfast, we just got 3 total, but when we've eaten there as a actual lunch or dinner, we get 4 apiece. And there's so many fun things to try. You can't go wrong either. Everything we've tried has been incredible. That's such a fun spot. We started off with some foods that our local friend recommended, but now we might be at the most touristed restaurant in all of Vienna.
Figlmüller.
This spot opened like 10 minutes ago and it already has a winding queue out the door. We've actually tried to wait in this line 3 times at this point, but we always have like other things going on. We pack a pretty tight schedule. So today we have a reservation. Dankeschön. Oh, we are starting out with a grape spritzer. We learned from our local friend that spritzers are super popular in Austria. His go-to is apple juice with soda mixed in, but here at Figlmüller, this place actually started as a wine cellar. And so they actually have their own vineyard, their own wine, and their own grape juice. We already started off the morning with a beer, and we are going to be drinking more later today. So we decided to go ahead and just try their classic grape juice spritzer. And I have to be honest with you. We're ordering drinks because we're making this video. We've traveled full time for like several years now. I know free water is a pretty American thing and expectation, but we just don't like to buy drinks. We are foodies, and unless there's something particularly interesting on the menu, we would rather just eat our calories and our money. And here in Vienna, they have incredible tap water. Like, the water here is from the Alps. It's amazing. But to get tap water with your meal, you have to pay for it. You pay for tap water. Paying $1.50 for a liter of something that they can just take out of the sink, it's just a lot. But this is good. You're getting something special out of it. This grape juice definitely has more complexity than a typical grape juice. Like, there's a lot more flavor here. It's a little deeper. It is somewhere more between like the flavor of a wine and the flavor of a grape juice. It's pretty sweet, but it has this added amazing complexity. And then the carbonation from the soda just makes it fun.
I got my meal. This could probably feed a family of 4 pretty easily. Finally have the wiener schnitzel. This is the national dish of Austria.
A lot of people don't even realize that Wiener Schnitzel is from Austria, like that this is an Austrian dish. But we should, because Wiener Schnitzel is the name, and Wiener literally means from Vienna. Like, Wien is Vienna's actual name, and for some reason we just call it Vienna in other parts of the world.
They basically take the meat and like hammer it. Hammer it into the thinnest layer that they possibly can, and in that process it's tenderizing the meat. When you cut into this, like, it is crazy soft, crazy juicy. They bread it, amazing crisp. Like, look at that, just holding its own, just like literally lifting off the plate by itself. That's how nice that crisp is, but still very thin, very delicate. Technically on this side is the Wiener Schnitzel. In Austria, by law, to be called Wiener Schnitzel, it must be made of veal. The recipe originally came from a geographic region of Italy, but when Italy was under Habsburg rule, so of the Austrian Empire, it came over, the Austrian Emperor got a taste of it and he fell in love, and ever since he and his entire kingdom has eaten and enjoyed the Wiener Schnitzel. But veal is a more expensive meat. So this is Figlmüller's take on it. This is Figlmüller's original schnitzel made of pork. And
Massive.
it's massive. This won't be our first schnitzel, but it is one that I'm extremely excited for. We've seen banners all over Vienna advertising for this place, and by the looks of it, I think it'll deliver. I think I have to start with the Viennese classic, the national dish, the Wiener Schnitzel with veal. I'll make sure I get a good piece there. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I'm using a knife. It's so tender. What I love about it is that it's all about execution. Relatively simple ingredients. There's no sauces or gravies or spices to really hide behind. Don't get me wrong, perfectly seasoned, which in this case is just a little bit of salt, but because it's like so naked, we're just letting the ingredients talk. We're just letting that pillowy, tender veal shine. We're letting this beautiful breading crisp beyond a doubt, but still like just melts in your mouth. Yeah, the lemon will bounce. I think for me, I have one bite without the lemon, one bite with the lemon. Alternate between those. Moving on to the Figlmüller schnitzel with the pork. I mean, I almost feel bad cutting into this beautiful sheet of meat. I don't think I've said that one before. I had the opportunity to describe meat as a sheet. And this is a highly contentious, highly debated topic of whether or not you put lingonberry jam, just a little dab of it, on top of your schnitzel. I know where I land on this debate. And it's definitely pro lingonberry. Just like the lemon, it gives a little bit of that tartness, that brightness, brings it up. But the difference in the lingonberry is that it has the sweetness as well, pulls it in a different savory sweet direction, which I love.
And if you're not familiar with lingonberry, get yourself to an IKEA because it comes with the Swedish meatballs that you get there, and it is absolutely delicious there too. Sort of like your cranberry sauce that you add to your turkey at Thanksgiving. Absolutely delicious.
I'm sorry, Figlmüller. The classic has me. The veal wiener schnitzel is where it's at. But this almost feels like a little everyday schnitzel that you can partake in. I don't know if my doctor would agree with that, but I'm gonna go with it. Figlmüller has had almost 120 years to work and perfect the schnitzel, and it definitely shows.
It's a lot of food, guys.
So this is a new invention I call the pocket schnitzel. Just stick it in my back.
The line is growing by the minute.
We literally took public transportation to come out of the city into this beautiful natural park and look down at the beautiful skyline.
The hills are alive with wine. Seriously though, like when you are in Vienna, you will look around and there are hills just completely surrounding the city and they are full of vineyards. This is so cool. And what great motivation to go hiking. Hike and sip some wine. It's perfect. Like, this is the best hike ever. So beautiful, so cool. How incredible. This is the city in the background, just the city and the vineyards. Vienna has the most vineyards of any major city in the world. There are over 400 vineyards here in city limits, and it's just incredible. When you are in Vienna, like wineries and vineyards like make up the cityscape. You know, you look around and there's just mountains full of vineyards growing grapes and wineries harvesting those grapes and making delicious goodness. And a lot of the wine that's actually harvested here in city limits is sold like right away. And there's all of these wineries filling the hills that are selling their fresh local wines, and you can get it at bars, taverns, restaurants in town as well. But when you come up here in the hills, they literally like start selling it in the beginning of the summer and they sell it until they run out basically. So we were just told this is actually the last weekend this year that they're going to be selling the wine. But coming up here, you can take the train to a bus and it drops you off at the top. We went on about a 20-minute hike down through other vineyards, past other wineries. You could go on a full wine hike. I've always thought that taking like the wine train through Napa, going from winery to winery seems like such a fun experience, but it's kind of expensive. But here, the affordable version of Napa, like you can come on this hike, be outdoorsy, be out in the beautiful weather, go for a hike so you're burning off some of the calories you're drinking, and just enjoy the gorgeous views of the city and delicious wine. So without further ado, wine. Tastes like wine. We're not expert winos yet. Maybe one day. Maybe if we drink enough of these, we'll figure it out. We just asked for the two like most classic Viennese wines, and so we got these two. 80% of the wines made here in Vienna are white wines, so very much white wines are the classic. So this one is a bit of a drier wine, but it still has a very nice taste to it as well. Oh yeah, you're supposed to do something like this, I think.
Does it have legs?
No, but it's a very good wine. It's very good. Not very sweet, but not like, it doesn't leave the dry taste in your mouth either. Like it's a kind of a refreshing, good wine. I like it. And then we have this wine. It's another white. And this one is a bit drier. It's a bit drier, a bit more of a pucker to it. But I think there's a word for that, but I don't know what it is because I'm not a wino. What can I say? But they're both very good. You definitely have to drink some local wine when you're in Vienna, and I couldn't have asked for a better place to do it. It's just absolutely stunning to be enjoying this view of the city, to be able to hike and like kind of work and take it all in as we got here as well. Like, I've been to wineries in Texas and in California before, and you can kind of see the vineyards off in the distance, but here we're just surrounded by it, and it's just incredible. I love it. Definitely recommend. The vibes, man, the vibes. "100% chillin'." And it's just so cool, like this truly is like such a local experience. Like all around us, there's locals behind us, like celebrating birthdays. Our friend that lives here said he literally grew up just hiking in these hills with his grandmother. It's just really cool to be out here, relaxing, enjoying peaceful Vienna. Check out this spread. This is Tafelspitz. This is the Emperor's dish. The Emperor's Franz Joseph I's favorite dish. We have boiled veal with a bunch of vegetables in there. And with that comes obviously the soup that it's in. They serve it here over some like sliced pancakes. This is a horseradish applesauce that comes with it as a topping. And then this is like a creamy chive sauce. With the Tafelspitz comes bone marrow, and they actually serve you with bread as well to put the bone marrow on. To start with the broth and these delicious like noodly pancake strips. Oh wow. This is gonna be a really great meal. I can tell just from the broth that the meat and everything we're gonna consume was cooked in. It looks like a pretty clear broth, but it does not taste like a clear broth. There's so much flavor and there's so much richness. And then these like pancake strips. Just like the perfect doughy deliciousness. I love it. And of course, the main event is the boiled beef. What is it giving us? This big strip. It's veal, but it's like the rump. But they had offerings of like all different parts of the cow. And what's fun about that is that like I read that like pretty much every Austrian was expected to basically know the entire cow and like what every piece was called. That is so tender and super good. Truly is carrying so much of the flavor of the broth, but I have a feeling that having these sauces are going to be even better. Add a little bit of the applesauce. What a combo. Horseradish applesauce, absolutely delicious. Adding obviously the good nose feel. The way wasabi is spicy, if you haven't had horseradish before, it's like a wasabi or strong mustard. Like it's that nose feel spiciness that's just absolutely delicious paired with the sweet applesauce. It's just so good. And then the tender umami meat, just perfect, a dish fit for an emperor. And then have this creamy chive. I'm gonna dip that on in there. Okay, that might be the winner though. Wow. That's out of this world. This creamy chive sauce is so good. So perfect. Perfect amount of cream, but then truly such a strong chive flavor that just takes over. Perfect. This is so good. And this is the place, like when you Google top place to come to for this, it's here. It's here. You come here for Tafelspitz, for the emperor's dish. And I can see why, like, this spread is out of control. So delicious. I was doing this in the wrong order, so they brought us how it's done. It's literally called how it's done. Step 1 was the broth, which we did do. Step 2 is bone marrow. And step 3 was actually the meat, which I already showed you. So do as I say, not as I do. Go in this order so that you are correct. Now we're on step 2. We're going back in time. And it is the bone marrow step. So much marrow here in the middle. And then spread it on the bread. Season with salt, season with pepper. Step 2, the bone marrow step. Ivan calls this the butter of the gods, and I can see why. Definitely the butter of the emperors. It is so delicious. It's like the perfect fatty deliciousness, the perfect amount of umami. It just melts. It's just perfect. I don't know how to describe bone marrow. It's really good and you need to eat it. And then step 3 is what we did before, where you eat the meat. So refer to that. Refer to the step I showed you earlier. That's actually step 3. And that is how you eat Tafelspitz. So we've been talking a lot about Viennese food. But for Americans, there is an elephant in the room. Vienna sausages. If I had a nickel for every time my dad joked about whether I'm eating Vienna sausages while I was in Vienna, I could buy a real Viennese sausage, which would be delicious because these are. Now, at home in America, we think of Vienna sausages as these ultra-processed canned sausages that are very interesting and unique, like a brined sausage, but Vienna actually has incredible sausages, and that is, I think, why they're named Vienna sausages. They came to Vienna, they tried the amazing sausages, and they were like, wow, Vienna has the best sausages. How do I sell this weird canned stuff? By calling it Vienna sausages. But the actual Viennese sausage that you have to get when you come to Vienna is a kasekrainer, scharf. Oh, I like the scharf. So kasekrainer is a sausage, just delicious spice, smoked, delicious, amazing sausage with cheese inside of it. And then the scharf is the spicy version. And this one, we've come here all the time. Like, we are regulars at this sausage stand. This one, they got it like nice and caramelized here on the bottom too, which is beautiful. Very excited for that. Just fantastic, smoky, delicious sausage with so much spice and flavor. Absolutely fantastic. This isn't necessarily the way you're supposed to do it, but to me the sausage is so amazing on its own that I actually just use the bread and dip it in the mustard and have it as like a side dish. Now, our friend that's from Vienna said that the sausage stand is the heart of Vienna. When he was in college, he would come here super late at night as a college student, and there would be businessmen also here eating sausages on their way to work. Like, this is like the living, breathing Vienna is here at a sausage stand. Like, this is how you experience the city. And it's a great experience. But our friend also, I'm not saying this is true, but I am saying that it is a legend here that the Viennese people invented fast food, and it was with sausage stands just like this. This is the genesis of fast food right here before us. Is it true, or is it a Viennese legend? Not sure, but either way, they're delicious, and you definitely must get a kasekrainer when you can. Oh my gosh. Our Viennese friend was right. We just made friends at the sausage stand. Literally a whole comedy routine. Oh, just epic. Definitely the heart of Vienna.
You'll meet some characters, that's for sure.
We have had such a delicious time getting a taste of Vienna's most iconic foods and wine, but there is so much more to explore and taste in this city. So please, please, please hit those subscribe and like buttons. It truly helps us so incredibly much. We'll see you on the next one, and until then, check out one of these videos. YouTube picked them out just for you.